I guess we get to start off this book with a very nice quote from the man himself. Painting my room white was like a clear act of subtle, self-inflicted psychological torture. Ah yes, we have officially started page 1 with some wacky shit. I mean, that wasn't the very first line of the first page, but it was still in the first page as I did cite notation or whatever it's called whenever you have to put the author in the page number there. Sorry, I just recently graduated high school after a long period of quarantine, so can't remember all that stuff well, but you get it. So to summarize the first chapter, it starts off with James, aka Greg, late to his history class, and he soon arrives 30 minutes, he just arrives and then there's like 30 minutes left of class, but instead of paying attention like an average student would, he decides to just keep his eyes on everyone. Just that creepy stalker dude just likes to observe everyone. Because, I mean, there's no problem with every now and then looking at someone or something, but that's all he does. He says that flat out in his page. And to quote it, for as long as I can remember, I've enjoyed seeing how people move around and talk to each other like they're all animals at the zoo. Oh yes, and you must be the VIP alien, right? Oops, I jumped ahead, but you'll get it soon. So once class is over, he just runs on over to art. Not because that's his favorite subject, as most would have assumed with him running off to art. Instead, he's eager to see some girl he is really interested in, Abby. But before all that occurs, before he makes it to art class, he happens to witness a fight between two jocks, because instead of just putting bully or something, he feels jocks is a better way to word it. I mean, does he even know what a jock is, or does he just think every asshole's a jock? Like, come on. I know some Furby jocks at my old high school, and they were not assholes. So, don't need to stereotype the jocks as all being assholes, which I can understand why you'd think they could be, since a number of them are assholes, to be fair. I'll give you that. Right, so then he supposedly agrees in his own mind, or just talks about how basically resolving conflicts with just fights all the time is just barbaric and whatever. And when he introduces us to Jason, he brings him up as some moron, and then brings up some other dude who's also a moron, but this other guy, I forgot his name, I didn't bother to write it down, I think, but this other guy just happens to pee in a jar, and that's all he's known for. I don't know why that was important to know, and I'm really getting more questions than answers here. How did he pee in the jar without getting caught? Why did people see him pee in a jar and not say a word? I'm pretty sure that would have been obvious. And how did nobody smell that horrid smell? And I'm just going to change the subject. This is starting to get gross. Ugh. So when James enters the room, he's happy, of course, to see Abby. Her name's really Abbigale, but it's not spelled like your typical Abbigale. It's this one's spelled Abbigale instead of, E at the end, my bad. It's spelled that way instead of Abbigale. I don't know, just people are used to certain spellings of the word, so it's just really weird to see it spelled this way. Okay, soon the teacher in art assigns everyone to partners, And out of nowhere, Abby just wants to work with James because he's better than Jason, I guess, which Jason's the guy that sits right next to her. He's one of those other stupid jocks or something, I guess. I don't know. And the teacher is kind of annoyed, but she just agrees, goes with it, even though she herself said she would assign partners. So I'm wondering why she's assigning partners if she's going to let Abby work with James. Okay, so later on... Oh, okay, I see now. So in the notes I did of this book, the name of the dude who urinated in a jar is Alex. What a way to know Alex. I feel so bad for any person out there who's named Alex that could possibly be watching this. Not that there's many Alexes who are into Furbies, but, you know. And then we got another nice quote here, which I forgot to mention earlier, but I mean, if you still remember about the whole jock thing with the two guys fighting and how Greg disagreed with it. Jocks who had controlling, iron-fisted fathers who believed conflicts between men are best resolved with their fists. Yeah, and like that was the end of that sentence. That was kind of long and run on, but basically what he was trying to get at with the context of that is that in his mind, supposedly any guy who just resolves any conflict with just a fist fight is a moron, but you'll see him backfire on that soon. He's not really true to anything. Okay, another quote, a thing I wrote down. If you refuse to see the world around you for what it is, you're just wasting your eyes. Well, I'm pretty sure that can be applied to you as well, Greg. Don't worry, I'm almost done going through the first chapter. What a doozy. So, yeah, like I mentioned before, that was the dude who did that in the jar. Okay, now, so the teacher, for some reason, wants these students in their project to just break two separate things. Like, person A gets one object and person B gets another object. They both break their objects and then combine it together into some, like, Frankenstein thing, as the teacher described. I don't know, whatever. This is really weird 90s art class, or whatever year 90s? I don't know, just whatever Greg went to school, if that actually happened. That must have been a really weird art project. So Jason disagrees to this, of breaking an item for an assignment, and the teacher, of course, mentions that Alex could use his disgusting jar of yellow fluid, and then, like, Jason can grab toilet paper, and haha, funny. Except that was out of nowhere. That was weird. The teacher did not have to do that, but okay. Abby laughed from the teacher's remark. Okay. James and Abby had some pointless chatter for a couple of minutes on what they should do for the project, which at the beginning, Abby thought she could bring her hamster cage because she never got a hamster. Weird. And then James was not too sure of what to get at the moment, but then she gave him a number with this weird code thing. Nice one is the code. It's spelled N-I-S-E instead of, 9, but okay. Puzzle, I guess. Right, and then of course they get on the bus. Not Abby, sorry. James Greg gets on the bus with his friend. It's strange, I did not write down the friend's name, but the friend, he's a year younger and just kisses up to Greg like, oh my god, you're awesome, dude, blah blah blah. And then he lets him sit in the window seat because he's one of those people who likes to sit by the window. Because, again, he likes to observe everyone like some freak. And then he gets disappointed whenever he sees Abby and Seth kissing. Or maybe that's the next chapter. I'm jumping ahead here. I'm done now. That's the first chapter. On to the next one.